You Bet rolls on San Francisco, California, the site of Super Bowl 60. Westwood One Sports presented by BetMGM. This is awesome. Joining me on the show, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League, Pro Football Hall of Famer, the legendary Warren Moon. Warren, welcome back to the show. Happy Super Bowl week.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is where it all gets started, right here, Radio Row, and a lot of energy in this place, and I'm sure by the end of the week you'll be talked out and won't want to talk to anybody this weekend,
well,
right?
Until I have to go home and have to talk to my wife, which is coming up in a couple days. I'm curious how often you get this, for what I'm about to say, from people around my age. So I turn 43 later this year. When I grew up, Tecmo Bowl was the big game.
Oh, yeah.
And I played exclusively as the run and shoot Houston Oilers.
Did you?
And would throw for a million.
You must have did pretty good
I
then.
never ran the ball with Lorenzo White. It was you throwing to Haywood Jeffries and Ernest Givens and Curtis Duncan, and there's a fourth who I'm forgetting. And I just absolutely Drew Hill. I was going to say Drew White, Drew Hill. And I dominated with you guys. Do you get that from people ever? Because you guys were the most fun team to use.
Yeah. I was just with those guys last week at a trading card show in Houston. They were all there, and we were all signing autographs for the run and shoot offense. Those guys were amazing players, really good guys, and we're all really close.
Do you feel like you obviously are a Hall of Famer, right? Do you feel like what you guys were able to accomplish offensively in Houston with the way that you did it was pretty revolutionary at the time?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you guys don't get the credit you deserve for like ushering in like a new offensive style in the NFL. Do you ever feel that way?
Well, not really, but I understand why. If we would have went and won a championship with it, then I think it would have made more noise. You look at the greatest show on turf with the Rams. They won a Super Bowl, so I think people talk about that offense a little bit more because it won the ultimate success. It won a championship. So I think if we would have done that, we'd probably get a little bit more noise from it.
The year that you guys, I'm not trying to bring up bad memories. The year you guys lost to Kansas City, was that the best one?
I think so, yeah. That was a team I thought had a chance to go. We had won 12 games that year. We had won 11 games in a row up until that point, and we let one get away, man. Otherwise, who knows what might have happened.
I had a family. My grandmother lived in Houston at the time. I used to go to some of the Oilers games. We used to have ribs at Luther's back in the day.
Oh, yeah, Luther's.
Awesome.
And they're not there anymore, Luther's.
Back in the day in Houston, Texas. Yeah. I absolutely loved it. You played in Seattle at the end of your career. Seahawks in the Super Bowl now. Give me your thoughts on Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold that had the biggest game of his life.
Yeah, I just love his whole overall story, his journey. Everybody has their own journey. I had my own where I had to go to another country and all the different things. But, you know, Sam's bounced around the league. I think he lost his confidence after what happened with the Jets. Regained that confidence, I think, when he sat behind I forgot who it was, Jimmy Garoppolo, I think,
yeah, but he was in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, and Shanahan kind of helped boost his confidence again. And then he goes to Minnesota, has a great year there. They have a young quarterback they want to go with. They make the decision not to pay him. He goes to Seattle, and here he is in the Super Bowl. So I think it's a great story. I think if it ends the way he wants it to end on Sunday, this is a movie to be made.
What is it about Sam that impresses you the most, watching him from one quarterback to another?
His demeanor. I love his demeanor. It reminds me a lot of mine. You never see him get upset. You never see him get too high when he does something well. He doesn't get too low when he doesn't do well. And that's what you want out of your quarterback. This is a game that has a lot of emotion in it. Football does. But who do you turn to when you want to know if there's a calming influence on your team? It's usually your quarterback. And you always look to him. If he's okay in his demeanor, then everything is going to be okay. And that's what I wanted to always be for my team. And I think that's what he is for his team.
I'd like to ask you the same question about Patriots quarterback Drake Maye, Super Bowl year 2. What most impresses Warren Moon, Hall of Fame quarterback, about New England Patriots second-year quarterback Drake Maye?
His maturity, very mature for a kid his age, really understands who he is and what he's all about. And then his accuracy. I mean, what it was, 72% this year throwing the football. That's kind of unheard of for a young guy like that, especially in a new offense. You know, he has a new offensive coordinator come in, and he's done a very, very good job. I love how smooth he plays the game, and I love that he uses his legs when he needs to. He hasn't played that great in the playoffs, but he's made some of his biggest plays with his legs, especially in some of those weather conditions. So really impressed with his maturity.
A couple more minutes with Warren Moon, Hall of Fame quarterback on You Better You Bet. We'll talk about the NFL Alumni Fatherhood Champions program in just a second. Who's going to win the Super Bowl and why? Seahawks or Patriots?
I I'm a Seahawks fan. I played there. I work for the organization. I still live in the Seattle area. So I think Seattle has a complete team. What concerns me a little bit is the running game with Kenneth Walker not having Charbonnet there, and he's out for the season. So depth-wise, but this is a game where there's no next week. So if you had to run Kenneth Walker 25, 30 times in this game, you can do it because you don't have to worry about using him up. Their defense, they really fly around. They swarm.
Hope Emin-Wari is able to play.
Yeah, they give you a lot of different looks, and they have a lot of team speed. So if Sam plays well with what he's being asked to do, Sam doesn't have to win the game for him. He just has to play Sam Darnold football. And if he does that to go along with the balance with the running game and the way that defense plays, they should be okay.
This is not blowing, it's the truth, right? You're the greatest quarterback in the history of Houston football, right? So CJ Stroud has got a chance, right? He's been to the divisional round his first 3 years. The way the season ended, I think, left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Are they going to give him the fifth-year option? Will there be competition for him? What's your read on CJ Stroud as he gets set to enter year 4?
Well, I think CJ would be the first one to admit he did not play his best football in the playoffs. And he came out publicly and said all those things and said he's going to do everything he can this offseason to make sure that doesn't happen again. Now, that's CJ's side of it. The organization's got a decision they got to make on the other side. Do we extend him or do we go ahead and let him play it out?
What do you think when you watch him play?
I think they need to improve some things around him with the offensive line. He's pressured and sacked too much. And he's got to have his weapons healthy. Even in that last game, he lost his tight end in the game, and he came in without his best receiver. So he already was behind the 8 ball in that football game to go along with the bad weather and all that too. So I think they've probably seen enough to know that he does have the potential to be a really great quarterback in this league, the way he played in his first year and then up and down a lot of the last 2 years. But you can see when he is up, he's special. So that's the decision I think they're going to have to make. Or is he going to be up more than he's going to be down? And that's the decision they have to make as an organization after they look at everything. I haven't analyzed his play as much as they probably are. So I'm just kind of going off of what I've seen.
At Radio Row, a lot of Pro Football Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And a lot of them join me here on the show, and I've been asking them all the same question I'll ask you. You're someone who's in Canton. Do you feel like the Hall has taken a hit to its reputation over the past couple years? And it's not just Belichick. I can't believe Terrell Owens didn't get in on the first ballot. That was one to me where, like, you watch Warren Moon play. Warren Moon's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, Emmitt Smith's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terrell Owens a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do you feel like the Hall of Fame's taken a hit in the last however many years?
I think they have, and I think part of the reason why is I don't think we let enough people in at a time. For our sport, with as many players as we have at one time, we have 53 players on a roster. We have 22 guys that play on both sides of the football, offense and defense, and we have specialists. So you have punters and kickers and special teams guys that you have to consider as well. So we have a lot of guys to consider. And when you're only letting in 4 or 5 guys every year, I don't think it's enough. So there's a lot of guys sitting out there waiting for their opportunity. And when the voters look at it, they also have to look at guys who are first ballot worthy. Then they have to look at guys who are waiting. Sometimes they take a guy who might have been waiting a long time and put him in before the guy that might be a first ballot guy. So it's a tough situation because of the way they have to vote for these guys. They have to get 80% of the vote. And when you're voting like that, there's going to be guys that are left out that probably should be first-time guys, but they'll eventually get in. And I guess people don't want to hear that. But when you're in that room and there's a Reggie Wayne or there's a Torrey Holt or somebody that's been waiting 10, 12 years to get in, you want to try and get that guy in if you possibly can. So I think that's the
it's a challenge, right?
That's the challenge that they have to look at each and every time they go in that room. And I think it's the same way with Coach Belichick and Mr. Kraft going in on the first ballot. You got somebody like L.C. Greenwood, who I think they want to get in, or a Roger Craig, who both have been waiting a long time to get in. And some of those voters make the decision that they'd rather have one of those guys get in now and not have a first ballot coach. So I understand how tough it is to make those decisions, but what can you say?
We were talking a little bit about this off air. I think this is so great. Tell us what you have going on, Warren, with the NFL Alumni Fatherhood Champions Program.
Yeah, it's through the NFL Alumni, and what we're trying to do is promote fatherhood and better how to be a better father. And we have a couple of different ways to do that. We have a fatherhood handbook that's being established. We're going to have a Father's Day boot camp where you come to this boot camp on Father's Day.
That's awesome.
And learn all these different tools and techniques on how to be a better father, how to connect with your kids, how to get more involved in their lives. And it just shows. I grew up without a father, so I thought it was very important for me when I had kids to make sure I was a part of my my kids' lives, because I knew how much I missed not having a father in my life, especially after football games, whether we won. You want to celebrate with your dad, or whether you lost, you had your dad there to pick you back up. I watched all the other teammates that I have had their fathers there. So I wanted to make sure I was that dad that was in my kids' lives, and I've been that way for them. And I want to make sure other fathers do the same thing and have the tools that it takes to make sure you connect with your kids the proper way.
You should be proud of yourself.
Well,
That's
I'm trying.
awesome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Hall of Fame quarterback Warren Moon here on the show. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The show rolls on right after this.